But yes, AI can help us to fix some of the problems. But we also should be like with recertification. We also should be careful of, um, do we cure the symptoms or do we address the cause? And for roles, for recertification, etc., curing the symptoms might be helpful, but I think the industry would be also well advised to look at what is the cause of the problem and how do we really address it at that level.
Yeah, and I use the example of recertification. The other example I was going to use was authentications. Having AI play a greater role in identifying the person on the way and in making the decision that it is the person or it's not the person. Um, I think ultimately it needs to trace back that if needed, you could see what the decision was based on. What was the basis for allowing, approving someone to have access or giving or authenticating an account or making that access review decision if it's, say, a compliance driven process and you just can't get around doing it for now. But I do think AI is going to have to provide a paper trail. But overall, as I think about AI for identity, I think it's going to continue to be important. I think it's, like you mentioned, kind of within that framework of non-human identities. There's this whole space now of software solutions focusing on non-human. There's it, just the number of spaces, or what should I call it, like subsectors within identity that keeps popping up, and it's like new acronyms like IVIP, which uh, I'm not discounting the importance or how cool these different technologies are, but as a practitioner, like how am I supposed to keep track of all this? IVIP, non-human identity, KIM, ISPM, ITDR, you name it. Um, how do we as practitioners identify which of these is going to be ones that we need to pay attention to, that we need to invest in, or what are the ones that we should wait a little bit? Because we still have the disciplines like IGA, access management, privilege access management, but eventually organizations get to the point where it's like, okay, we're solid with those things.